Welcome to Smileys. I'm Mora, and my co-host couldn't make it today, but with me today is a special guest, Dan from YouTube, who's been reviewing Malazan books starting from Memories of Ice. And so we're just here for a casual chat. Hi, Dan. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, I'm excited to talk more of this instead of just to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited I've really liked this series so far. So I'm
Yeah. So
excited to be here.
first of all, congrats on 500 subs. So
Oh, thanks.
So how's it going? Are you enjoying Malazan?
Yeah. And people are showing up a little bit to kind of cheer me on, I guess, going through this. I've really liked it. I've really liked it a lot. I'm surprised how much I've liked it.
Yeah.
And I think a part of the reason, like, I wasn't, I usually just burn through books, just get them done, enjoy the story. But it seems like it's a whole world here, which I don't even know the name of the world. Does this world that
there is no official name.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I've really liked it. I've liked these different continents. I've liked these different cultures and things. It's been so fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
You're not exactly a fantasy reader. Like, have you read fantasy before coming to Malazan?
Really, what I usually have done is I like historical nonfiction. Like I just like reading history and literary stuff, like old classics from the 1800s and stuff. I'm just into that. I mean, I have read fantasy, and if I'm watching TV, I like fantasy and stuff like that, but I'm just not super well read on it. A lot of times I would just buy a book before the TV show or the movie would come out, and then just never get to it. So just this last year, especially, I thought I got to read all these fantasy books that I've had on my list forever. And some of them have been great. I'm very happy that I've kind of done that a little bit more than before. Put down some of my history books, which can be a little bit of a slog, but I still enjoy both.
So tell me about Gardens of the Moon. How did you find it? Must have been rough, isn't it?
Gardens of the Moon. I really liked the prologue right away. So I thought, okay, I don't know what's happening, but it's clearly something not great, right in the prologue. And then I loved the entrance of Gardens of the Moon in the first chapter with this girl that, gets
the fisher girl
possessed or whatever. And I thought, okay. And I was holding on pretty well for the first 50 pages. And then it just kind of, like, I had no idea what was going on. And I mentioned before we started, I didn't know who Warren was and how many Warrens there were. Like, it took me a while to catch on to that. And I haven't gone and looked at other people's content on it. It probably would have helped. But I think a few things could have cleared that up for me. A few things that would have been nice to know about just basically what I was getting into, because I didn't have a clue. But I enjoyed it, but it took a while. There was a rough spot around the 50-page mark to about the next 100 pages or more.
Yeah, but as soon as you get comfortable with one part, and then suddenly you're off to Darujistan, and then you sort of settle there, and then you go to the next book, which is again on a different continent. So
yeah,
it
well,
keeps...
with this third book, I've been going very slowly. Well, I'm done it now, but I went very, very slowly. And I mean, if I could show you, it's just marked up to heck. Like, it's just marked to heck. And all these scribbles everywhere, and really took me a while to get through it. But Gardens of the Moon, I read in something like 5 days. So I just trusted that. I just left it. If I didn't understand it, the one advice that I did get is just leave it. It'll come. I think I would have gone crazy if I would have done what I did with Gardens of the Moon or with Memories of Ice. If I would have done that in my first read, I think I probably would have maybe burnt out of the first book. I think people have to realize just chill out, just go with it. But I think burning through it was enough to just not get all the details and enjoy it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not as polished as the rest of the series. In a way that the action keeps jumping around, and you're not really sure. You're really disoriented there, and it's not just the story. Even the writing sort of keeps disorienting you. But I think in Dead House Gates, you must have been comfortable. How did that go?
Yeah, Dead House Gates I liked from start to finish. After the fact, I went and looked at some reviews, and a lot of people said the first half is a little bit of a slog. I really liked the first half. I
Yeah,
really liked the first half. Also started with a bang in the prologue.
yeah, I know.
Like wild. I mean, I like the third book's prologue the most, but I liked all of the prologues so far. And I mean, this fourth book was really small, but I really liked Dead House Gates as well. For me, I didn't understand really that I should be rooting for like Coltane and rooting for like I kind of didn't know who I was rooting for.
That's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's the way it's written. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, in this third book, I feel like I had someone always to root for and who not to. But yeah, the second book, I was a little disoriented as well. And then the whole, I mean, at the end of the first book, I'll go back to that.
yeah,
When
yeah.
the Azath house happens, like what the heck?
I know.
Who is this?
It's that's
Like
one wild sequence. I know. It just I don't know.
it,
I have no
it
defense
was
against
very
that.
cool, but I didn't
Yeah.
understand it.
It just shows
And,
up all of a sudden, and then it's like you're not even given a hint that something like this might happen, or there is
yeah,
no hints. It just happens.
yeah. And in the second book, there was a little bit of that at the end too, where I
Yeah,
thought
the
I don't,
Trigale.
I don't.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, sort of. It's like
Yeah,
I don't understand what just happened there.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
would read it a couple times, and eventually I just kind of moved on. And I've really enjoyed all of the books so far. I mean, Gardens of the Moon, I hear lots of people burn out and don't love. I thought it was fun still. I thought it
yeah.
was enough for me to keep going, even though it was really kind of scattered. But yeah, Dead House Gates I did enjoy more because I understood what I was getting into a little bit,
Yeah.
and I like the characters in Dead House Gates a lot.
Lot more than the ones in Gardens.
In Gardens, I didn't really connect with them the first time. Like
Right.
they were just names on a page, like Hedge and Fiddler, and
Oh, they were just yeah,
yeah, it really took until the second book to start to feel for some of these characters.
no,
But
but
by the time I got to the third book, I thought, oh, I do like the characters from the first book. I just didn't like them yet.
yeah. No, you were very unfamiliar because Gardens doesn't spend much time with Fiddler or Hedge or any of those guys. They just have like a few dialogue here and there. And
Yeah,
even
even
Whiskey
Whiskey
Jack,
Jack and all of
yeah.
them, I didn't really care that much.
What
I,
about the adjunct loan from Gardens? Did you
I thought
notice
she was
that?
interesting, but even then I thought, okay, she's at least got some kind of interesting sort of emotional thing going on as well. So there was some conflict with her. So I thought, okay, I like her. Tool showed up and I thought, okay, I like
Yeah.
whatever this bone thing is.
Yeah,
Um, I liked Tattersail a fair bit. Then she went off and died.
yeah, but then
I
she came
liked,
back.
yeah, I liked Animander Rake a fair bit.
Yeah.
I liked Crocus for parts of it. I
Oh,
liked
oh,
Ralik
that's
Nom.
Crocus, Gardens Crocus. You liked him? Oh,
Uh, uh,
that's a
for
bit.
some of it, I liked it. I thought
Yeah.
I liked the idea of just this dumb boy that doesn't take the hint. Like
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah.
everything wrong. So I liked at least that, but even though like you want to smack him on the back of the head, um, yeah, this Kruppa guy. It took me a while to understand him. But yeah, I didn't really connect with many of the characters in that first book. I
Yeah.
kind of liked Crone in that
Yeah.
first book. I thought she's interesting,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
You
it
don't
just went
really
over my
get
head.
yeah, you don't really get to spend much time with any of them, so it's just
Yeah,
right.
yeah, and a lot happens really quickly.
Yeah.
But
But
mm,
if you went back and read it, it would make a lot more sense. that's how it is, because
Yeah, I want
you
to.
already know all these guys. The characters stay consistent, more or less. There are few mismatches between Gardens and the rest of the series, but most of
Hmm.
the time they stay very consistent. So it's good fun to go back and all these tiny hints and stuff. So,
Right. Right.
uh, so let's talk Dead House.
Hmm.
Who was your favorite there?
Well, that one's going to be the hardest for me to talk about because so much of that I feel like I've already kind of forgotten, even though I
Ah,
liked the vibe of it. I liked Haborik,
yeah,
and I liked Ducker or Diker.
Diker. I don't know.
Yeah,
None of us
I
say it the
really liked
same way.
him.
So yeah,
I liked his storyline then there. Callum, I didn't connect with as much, but I think probably a lot of people like him.
yeah.
Felicen started to really annoy me
Okay,
a little bit.
yeah,
I mean, I felt so bad for her at the start, and I thought,
yeah,
okay, let's help this lady. But then
yeah.
I started to get really annoyed with how mean she was being to Bodan or whatever his name was.
Modern. Yeah,
Yeah. But I'm still interested in her. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's up with the sister of theirs.
Tavor,
Yes,
Adjunct Tavor.
yes.
Yeah,
I saw her in the dramatis personae here.
yeah,
So I'm looking forward to because yeah, that's the one I'm most interested in seeing what's up with her because it seems like of all of them,
yeah,
there's more to her than meets the eye, I think. But at least it seemed like that was hinted to in Dead House Gates.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
then we only see her through Felicen's eyes. So
yeah, yeah. But I'm still interested in what's up with her. Ikariam and Mappo, I thought were interesting.
yeah,
Really an interesting storyline for that.
yeah,
Didn't understand everything around there with them, but yeah, Dead House, I basically liked, and I thought the Chain of Dogs was really, really cool. I
it
really
was.
liked the sappers and all these munitions guys and the Wiccans.
Yeah,
Broke my heart at the end.
twice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, and
Pretty rough.
then and the whole thing again comes back in Memories of Ice at the end when Diker says, "Permit me to
Yeah,
break your hearts." Oh, it just takes you entirely back. One whole
yeah.
book.
Like
You
just
just go
leave
back
that.
there.
I've
Yeah,
already I've already come to terms with that. Just leave it.
yeah,
No, I'm excited that he's around in some form.
true.
Hopefully for more of this series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, uh, you were telling me about Coltane's loyalty. That is something I find very interesting because when I read first, I was not sure that whether he's actually acting for the empire or did he have some secret agenda to betray them and all that. And I think that was quite good writing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I really didn't know who to root for
Yeah,
quite a while, especially regarding him. I thought, well, he's interesting and he's kind of funny sometimes, and I like some of the things he's doing, but isn't he totally not good? So I just wasn't totally sure. And
yeah,
that one I went through quite quick as well.
uh-huh.
That one I probably should have slowed down a little bit and I would have gotten more out of it. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited to go back to these first two books
yeah,
with
yeah.
with fresh eyes. But really I enjoyed it, but I didn't put many of the pieces together, even though I
Uh,
did enjoy it a lot.
yeah. Uh, I think Diker must have stood out to you because you see most of
Hmm.
it through him. I remember getting very annoyed with his story, with his POV because he was so depressing, so gloomy, and so we're all going to die. What's the point? Type of a
I kind of like that. But
yeah.
yeah, I can see how people would be like, "Oh, come on."
I know.
No, I really kind of like that though about him. I
Yeah,
don't
but
mind
I
a little
think
bit of
second time it
gloom.
just made so much more sense that yeah, obviously he's going to think that they're going to die because that's basically a suicide mission what they're doing. So
Hmm. Hmm.
right. So
I've
memories of
liked
ice.
that. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, well, I've liked that in the first books, even though there's a million people in the dramatis personae. It's not too hard to just kind of group people together and know basically where people are aligned.
yeah,
Um, they basically are all kind of doing the same thing, but man, if you dig deeper, it seems like everyone's got some kind of hidden other motivation and whatnot, and that can be a little tricky.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You
especially
can't.
in this third book, I'm glad that I slowed down to get all the little nuances with that, I think.
Yeah, with bridge burners, with quick burn especially having his own thing in the background and all that. Yeah,
Oh, I loved Quick Ben's stuff in Memories of Ice. I liked all of it. Like no,
yeah.
almost no scenes were wasted for me. Like I enjoyed each one.
In memories. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was an amazing. I mean, till Midnight Tides on my reread, memories was the top, and I think Midnight Tides came and pushed it out. So
Wow. Yeah. No, I really, really liked it. I don't. I mean, it didn't end. I liked. I think the ending of Dead House more than Memories of Ice. I don't know if I'm alone in that. Even though I liked parts of Memories of Ice, I liked the resolution and stuff. But I
hmm,
think the ending with the chain of dogs and stuff hit me more. But
emotionally,
certainly
yeah,
for
yeah,
most of Memories of Ice, I just loved it, almost every moment of it.
yeah. I mean, at least memories gives you some small breaks in between. It's not
Hmm.
as continuously hitting you in the feels like Dead House. You get some sort of breaks and some humor in between, and there is always gruntle, good for a laugh in between. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
I
things
mean,
are
for
not.
Gruntle for a while wasn't anything to me. I didn't care about him at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
For quite a while, when it would go to Gruntle, I thought, oh, I don't. I mean, okay, but I don't really care about Gruntle.
yeah,
And then he was like, I felt like, man, I got to get tiger tattoos myself. Like the next page, I'm all Gruntle. So it's amazing how he can just change. And same with Ikovi. And I thought, okay,
yeah, yeah.
I saw a video of something where someone was like, "Oh, I love Ikovian,"
Hmm,
and me reading it, I thought I didn't care about him, and then a page later, he's like the best character ever.
yeah.
So
Oh,
amazing how he can just do that so quickly.
he does very quickly. Yeah, I mean, with House of Chains, you would have realized, isn't it? How
Hmm.
quickly he can turn around the characters.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It's
I'm
very.
I'm still waiting for that with Corsa. I mean, I like Corsa still, but yeah. I
But then
mean,
you finished the first book, the first part of House of Change, so you got the reveal.
yes, I've gotten kind of his, and I was starting to kind of guess something
Okay.
up that they probably uh that they keep saying about everyone's lost their history and have forgotten things. I thought, well, obviously the Teblor probably
Hmm.
are they the Teblor?
The Tableau, yeah, they're called the
Yeah.
Tableau in House of Change.
I thought that's probably not even their name. And there's probably something going on where they are related to the Bargast and whatever. So I
Oh,
was starting to kind of wonder, but yeah, I've gotten that reveal, which is awesome. And
hmm.
I'm very curious about this lady stuck under the rock.
The
Like who? Like is she an alien? Like I don't even. First I thought, oh, she's like a Jagged lady. Like, but then thought, okay, no. So I'm curious. It seems if I was to guess, and of course I don't know. I thought, well, obviously there's more. I don't know if I've heard of this
uh,
race.
Forkrul Assail. Yeah, I don't think it's come up before,
It,
or
it
maybe
might
it
have
was
been
just mentioned
passing
in
because
cash. Yeah, yeah.
it seemed a little bit familiar. Like I've read that word, but
Okay.
yeah, thought, oh, this lady's crazy. She's her name's Calm or Bringer
Yeah,
of Peace.
calm.
It doesn't seem like she has much peace to bring. I mean, that's relative or subjective of how you want to interpret peace, but yeah,
Does she
I'm
say
very.
peace, or I think wasn't justice the word she uses?
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
it was
well
peace.
the other guys are think she's a bringer of peace, and it
Ah,
sounds like she's more than. I mean, it depends peace for who, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. No,
but
Memories of Ice though.
yeah, yeah. Tell me.
That there was so much in there where it could have been a whole bunch of books in one,
Yeah.
and and it wasn't. It was one book that didn't just totally throw me off. I was so into Lady Envy's group
Yeah.
and Quick Ben, and I was into. I mean, Captain Perrin and them were actually kind of secondary. Mostly, I was into Lady Envy's storyline and Quick Ben's storyline, but I
Hmm.
loved it all. I liked all of it.
No, I saw your video. I think is titled like 16 favorite characters, memories of ice.
Yeah,
I
and it could be like 40 characters.
yeah yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about the Grace Woods, the Fenner guys,
Oh,
Itkovian,
I'm so excited
Brucalian.
for them.
The
Uh,
new ones are called Grace Woods. What are the old ones called? I
no,
can't keep
they
it
were
straight.
called Grey Swords when they were defending the city.
Yeah, but then he hands them over to the wolves, isn't it? To the wolf
Yes.
gods because Fenner is gone.
Yeah.
So I think they're called Grave. I can't keep the name straight between those two sects because
Oh,
one is
well, I
gone.
don't know. I don't know, but it makes sense that they would be Grey Swords and go to the
Yeah,
wolves. So,
yeah.
no, that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that and talk at the head of that um in a sense.
Yeah.
I hope Tool's still around, right? I mean, I
You
know
do
he's
see
around
Tool.
as some kind of he's like mortal again.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and he's back
So
with
I
his sister,
yes,
Kilava.
and I thought that was awesome. Like there's so many just little scenes that kind of just stick out.
Yeah, and each time Erickson like describes the Imas, like the flesh and blood Imas, it feels so. It just comes out with so much, sort of affection for that race because they were the ones, the primitive ones who were in touch with nature and all that. So the way
Yeah.
Kilava is described and then the way Tool is described, it just it just makes me so
Yeah.
happy whenever I read those.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
you remember whom they meet when they're walking by the road? Kilava and Tool. They meet
At the
someone.
very end?
Yeah. Oh, doesn't
No.
matter. It'll come back. Don't worry.
I'll look in my book. I probably circled it.
You must have, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. No, I don't remember who they found. Did they run into Diker on his way in?
Oh no. Diker is sitting in a tavern in Darujistan.
Right. Oh, yes. Yes. You know what? For that the last 50 pages, I didn't highlight almost anything. I just read through
Oh,
it.
you're just going through, yeah.
Hmm. No, I don't recall who they
No,
run
because
into.
I didn't remember either. And then when they show up again, I was like, oh, did these guys meet? It was like that. So look it up.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh, dang. Well, I'm going to go check that after.
true. Yeah, good. But I think Krupp, Memories of Ice is when I started liking Krupp. Till then, he was like just this wordy guy eating cake at the background. But I think in Memories, he just came out as an actual character for me. All the
Yeah.
things he does for the Maib, the whole gifting
Yeah.
her things and taking care of her and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Crone was the first one who kind of would show that taking care of the Maibo. And I thought, oh, I really like Crone now. And she was just kind of annoying and sort of silly, but like I'm actually connected with this bird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
no,
that
I really liked that.
she's that snarky old lady, so only when people need her, she's going to be nice to them. Otherwise, she'll just snark at them like Baruch. She doesn't give a damn what Baruch does.
Hmm.
So, and
Yeah,
how was Ganos
go
Paran
on.
in
What's
Memories?
that? Oh,
Paran.
I'm really interested with him. I actually in the first book, I think that was the guy that I could hold on to.
Yeah.
And if I had to call anyone a main character, it would have to be him.
Okay.
I mean, he's in the prologue and I'm really into this Paran family, not even just him.
Yeah.
I'm the House of Paran. In the third book, I was really into him for the first half,
Mm-hmm.
where he was struggling and he was very down, and I thought, okay, well, I like when people are down. So no, I really liked his stuff and I liked his transformation. But in the second half, he was just kind of neat and cool and got things moving. But I didn't really stay super connected with him. I didn't have a lot of highs with him. But I'm still looking forward to his role that he has,
Right.
like his job that he has.
The new job, the master of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what exactly he does.
Yeah,
Least
I don't
of all
know.
him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you made a point, isn't it? Like he just automatically blesses someone and then realizes that, oh no, I just blessed this person.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah, it
job
just
he
kind of
has.
happens. And there's also blessings with this the Teblor people. They take that really seriously too. I don't know if it happens the same way, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
The
oh, Perrin can
blessings.
just say stuff.
Oh, no, no, I don't get it. Like Tableau people.
Well, they're saying Karsa's about to go on this
Quest.
journey with
Yeah, yeah,
his little quest, and no one's giving their blessing,
yeah,
and
yeah,
but these whatever these seven gods are,
yeah.
um, they have their sanction and their blessing, and a few times he brings up blessings,
Okay,
and
okay.
I thought it like you have to be very careful what you say around them and what you promise because they'll follow through with it. And I thought that was I don't know if that's supposed to be any kind of connection, but I thought that's interesting that Steven Erickson kind of reminds you about certain things he's mentioned in other books.
He does that. Yeah, yeah. He does that. Very subtle, you know, things you just. That's how you keep track of the characters because he knows that when a bunch of them are coming out, he makes each one stand out. So it's very easy to keep track. Unless
That's
you're
a
like, yeah,
no that's like a short story thing that people do. They can just kind of it's really interesting how well he does it.
he's been telling that he considers himself a short story writer. Have you like
Oh,
seen
really?
any of his interviews or something?
I
No.
haven't yet. No.
Oh God, you should because he does that. He considers himself a short story writer, so that's why he tries to be as he tries to pack so much into each sentence. Like there are no wasted sentences, and that's why we all slow down. All of us are used to just rushing through the books, and we can't do that here.
Yeah.
So that's the
Hmm.
style he carries over. I think
Hmm.
you must have noticed the Legana breed scene. That's one of my favorites. On the ship
Which one?
in Deadhouse Gates, one of them. How does this guy Gessler get his sword?
Sorry, I
No.
lost you just for a
Oh,
sec. Go back
okay.
with Lagana. Who?
There was this ship. I can't get the name straight.
Oh,
Silana or
sorry.
Silanda.
In this fourth book I'm on.
No, it must be Deadhouse Gates. Felicin and Culp and all escape on a black
Right.
ship.
Oh yeah, and then all the
The
headless,
headless ones. Yeah,
or
sorry. Yeah,
yeah, and they show up again in this fourth book, I guess, or something. Yeah,
yeah,
that whole flooded Warren, very very interesting as well. I really liked that part, and
yeah.
yeah, no,
So,
I didn't understand everything, but yeah, I'm glad that I'm back there. At least I got to be there for a second. What
yeah,
was it called? It started with an N, that Warren. Is that the start of
it's
the
nascent. It's
prologue,
just
isn't it?
was it?
Yeah, the nascent.
The
That's
nascent. Yeah,
where they are in the
our guy
prologue
gets
of,
shown. Yeah,
and he gets
in House
shorn
of
and he
Chains.
gets left there
Poor
in
thing.
that Warren.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but then the first sub book is just basically about Karsa. You don't
And
really
I'm
see
glad
anything
it
other
is.
than. How was it reading him alone for so long? To me, it was so disgusting. Like I did not want to finish that section. At least till he got enslaved, and then the rest happened, and
It
then I
was a little
became like,
much.
yeah,
No,
mm,
I liked it. I was waiting for a new point of view.
huh,
I liked it. I thought, man, this is probably a controversial sort of character.
yeah,
That but I'm a sucker for a redemption story, um, in a lot of ways, and I hope I like I like this connection with his dad, who is very
mm,
passive, and I
yeah, yeah,
think if we can just, he's got to get rid of the raping, he's got to cut that out, and maybe someone needs to kind of point his shoulders in the right direction and get his rage in the right spot, because when Gruntle went crazy and started being angry and righteous indignation, I want the same thing with Karsa, but just in the right direction, going to the
mhm,
right people, which I feel like is probably whoever these seven gods are. Like I don't trust them at all, but I don't
which is
trust them at all.
good.
But
Yeah, that's good.
so No, I really liked Karsa. I liked this guy the guy he meets when he first
Torvald.
gets enslaved.
Torvald,
The
no?
Yes, I
His
thought
friend.
he was a
Yeah.
funny guy and was upset when he died, or for a moment I thought he was dead.
Oh, yeah. He's not dead,
And
no.
yeah, and I like that this Karsa appears to use Ototaro for a
Mhm.
bunch of things, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And I liked that he gets picked up by this bodyguard of the Sheikh, whatever his name was.
Leoman. Leoman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which I don't see. I don't go into this book thinking the Sheikh are good at all. And maybe that's just me. I think I don't want him working for them, but
But
I don't know.
you've seen
I-
him before, right? So he was already working for Shaikh. He
Yeah,
was the
and I
one
liked
who,
him in that book, at least sorta.
I mean, he's,
He was kind of but yeah. Anyway, there's a lot to go into with him. I thought he was interesting in the first book. I wasn't really rooting for him, but
hmm. No, you don't see him do much in Dead House. You just see him, get angry with Heborik and say, if you open your mouth, I'm going to kill you next time or something. He's described as a teenager and he behaves like one. And then
hmm
here you find out that they're slow growing. So he's like 80
yeah.
years old or something.
Do you know what was the hardest thing for this book so far? Is losing our dog man
The
guy,
dog man.
the guy that turns into a dog and starts
Oh, God.
sitting with the. That's what made me so upset. I wanted him to be our little dog companion the whole
Oh,
time.
the Delam. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
I'm
friend.
so upset by that.
I know, yeah.
I want more of him and I want him to remain as a dog guy. But yeah, I thought, oh, this is a cute little companion.
No, when you say this guy turns into a dog, it's like we have Soul Taken and Divorce in these books. So
No,
I'm
he's
wondering,
not like
like,
that.
who shape shifts to a dog? I'm not.
No, he wrestles with the meat and yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah. He
thought, oh,
joins
he's
the pack.
actually sweet.
Right.
hmm
No, I actually thought Bairoth would be like the hero of the story, and Kasa is like getting killed in the raid or something. That's what I was hoping. But
Yeah, it's hard. It seems like there's a lot of foreshadowing that Karsa's that's not going to happen.
yeah.
Um,
No, one.
I like him so far. Like I have probably can't. I have Conan there,
Ah,
Conan the Barbarian. So it kind of
that
reminds me of that sort of
that was
character.
an inspiration. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, he's
I haven't
totally
read it.
Conan energy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but it's like Conan done slightly, differently because
hmm
I'm not sure how the books show
Well,
him, but
he's pretty rough. Like he can be pretty irredeemable
uh,
for most of it, but yeah, I'm hoping for the best, and I like the theme of this book. All of them have had good themes. The third book had great themes. I feel like if I had to guess this third book, this Karsa, I mean, I think Karsa's dad was trying to kind of break the cycle, but was too passive about it. I would love to see Karsa break the cycle, but through the way he does things. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of potential with this guy, even though he's pretty irredeemable in a
yeah.
lot of ways. But I mean, his grandpa was too. I mean, it seems like he kind of was born into a crappy situation.
Yeah, it's a society is like that, isn't it? Like he doesn't know any better, but now that he's out of it, let's see what he does with his new knowledge. But
Yeah.
wasn't that grandfather thing so funny? They go to this village and say, "Oh, my grandfather enslaved all of you," and then she says, "No, he begged for passage, and then we
Yeah.
just let him live."
We took care of him.
Yeah,
And then he went, yeah. No, and I like Karsa finally understands what an ally is and what it's supposed to be, no one that's below you. I think
yeah,
there's a lot of potential with that guy. I
yes,
think his story arc will be interesting. And
yeah,
if he's in, yeah, I'm interested.
yeah. But at least you know that there is a sequel for him, so
hmm
hopefully, because this is
hmm
Book of the Fallen, most people die except Karsa because he continues to have a sequel.
Yeah, yeah.
So, talking about deaths, how was Whiskey Jacks? Were you like looking for? Did you guess that it was going to happen?
That he was going to die.
Yeah.
I didn't guess that.
Yeah.
With Whiskey Jack, uh, I I mean I kind of guessed that maybe something not good was going to happen with him. I didn't expect I would like him as much as I did,
Yeah.
and I think Corlat brought that out in him for me because I really liked her.
Yeah.
I
Plus
thought
Rake,
Whiskey Jack was great.
considers him a friend, and
Mm-hmm.
they keep hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
So even I was like completely shocked when I saw that whole scene happened and Caleb just stabs him. So my jaw literally dropped when I was reading. But then when you see it the second time, you see how much Erickson sets him up to die. The
Yeah.
the book is full of red flags. It's just he has
Whenever
so
I
much.
start to like a character, I think,
Yeah,
oh crap,
I know.
here it comes. But I was so excited for Calor to do something. I've been
Ah,
waiting I was waiting
oh,
the whole book for that to happen.
yeah. After the prologue, you saw him, doing things in the prologue. What did you
Yeah,
think
and
of
I
that?
didn't realize he was kind of mentioned in the first book as well. I didn't pay much attention to
Yeah,
Kaladin Brood and any of them.
he has like one line or something. He just
Yeah,
I don't think
they're
he does
mentioned as
anything.
being over there.
Yeah, yeah. Most people
Yeah,
just say this random old guy with carrot and brood, and then it turns
right.
out he
Well,
was the High
Whiskey
King.
Jack and Dujek say goodbye and da da da, and he's making friends with everyone, and thought, oh, this guy's toast.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, and then there is always this double punches. You see Whiskey Jack, and then immediately after there is Itkovian, and after
Hmm.
that everyone goes and starts mourning, and Paran goes off to Moon Spawn to see his friends, and that whole Memories of Ice. The ending was just it was very rough for me.
Yeah, I was really broken up about Talk and Tool, thinking they were both gone.
Talk, yeah.
Because they're the ones I connected with the most in some ways. But yeah, I'm glad they're still around. But so many people are not.
But Talk, poor fellow, poor Talk. He
Poor
just
Talk.
kept getting hugged.
Yeah,
I, I think
yeah.
he's like one of the worst treated characters in the series.
Oh my gosh.
It was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
People like try to say that no, why did he leave Envy and Tool? Like they would have taken care of him. Like why did he leave that group to go join the Panion? Did you find
Yeah.
it odd or?
Well, I thought, well, clearly Lady Envy and them can handle it. I mean, it seemed pretty obvious that she could handle herself.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a little strange that he just kind of thinks, "Nah, I'm out of here." Yeah, it was a little strange. It
Yeah.
was a little strange, but I think I get it. But yeah, I still
No.
liked him.
He's extremely likable. Yeah. Poor fella.
Poor
So
fella.
my co-host had like one question for you because we saw that small video where you were talking about the Segula. We really like the
Oh,
Segula.
sorry,
The
Michael.
Segula,
Oh yeah,
the
I love the
the
Segula.
people with yeah. What do you think of them? What do you think of their society and all that?
I think it's awesome. I love the idea of Animander Rake going in and just walking in.
Yeah.
I think they're interesting. I don't see them as just dumb bullies. But I do, yeah, I wonder, like, they're a society more than a race, right?
They're a society. Yeah. Yeah.
So people could just join and be awesome and then have a mask and then they would be in it if they were good enough. I mean,
Good enough. Yeah.
yeah, I really like the Segula. I hope they're around more and more and more.
Yeah.
Sounds like this Senu, the youngest one, was only 14 or so,
Yeah. Yeah.
which, okay. Yeah, no, I really, really, really like the Segula. And I liked that it was someone to like, that they didn't seem too deep.
Hmm.
It was just something kind of fun. The kid in me liked them. It was just something that visually I liked that they just seemed unstoppable. And I liked their little butting heads with Tool.
Tool. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think audibly, when Mock, at the very end, when Mock wants to fight him, I think audibly I said, "Are you kidding me? Like right now? Idiots."
He's Yeah, they're extremely blind to their their rules and regulations. So I find them odd in that sense. But yeah,
Mhm.
they're or when you just meet them, you just think so cool. Like all they get is their race, their rank within their society. But
Mhm.
then not exactly in Book of the Fallen. You get to see more of them in one of the novels of the Malazan Empire, like
Good.
their
Yeah.
backstory and stuff. It's like most of their story you get there. So
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm interested in this group of pirates with the pirate uh cities on their boats or whatever.
Macros,
Whatever.
the Macros
Yeah.
cities.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
really know what's going on with that, but I think that's kind of cool.
yeah,
Interested in these other Talani Mass who have kind of broken off.
yeah. The
Um,
clanless, huh? The I think they're called
yeah, yeah.
clanless ones probably.
There's
I'm not.
lots that I need to have wrapped up or figure out. I hope it eventually comes around with some of these things I'm interested in.
Yeah. So I mean, you don't get like resolution for every single storyline
Hmm.
that's brought up, but the important ones, yeah, you do get. And
When's the last book Steven Erikson has put out? Like he's actively working on this still, isn't he? With some of these side series?
uh, side, in the sense, Book of the Fallen, I think he wrote it like one per year or something after the first one because it took time to publish, and then it was
Mm,
just one after the other came out. And right now, I believe he's writing the second Witness book, the second in the
okay.
series,
Okay.
and he has to go back to Karkanas, the third book.
Right.
So
Oh boy.
he does keep actively working. I don't know how he does it, but he's constantly writing.
Hmm. Yeah, I wish I could see his process for doing all this and keeping it all together because it seems like too much to
Uh,
juggle.
do you remember this slave guy, the slaver Damask?
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. Do you know what Erickson did when he started writing the Witness first book? He actually
Hmm.
went on Facebook and asked people, did that guy survive or did he die in House of Chains? He asked people. In the sense, he keeps note of like themes and the overall picture, like individual
Yeah, he does a
characters and
great job with that.
yeah, yeah. But these kind of tiny details of whether Damask lives or dies that he doesn't
Hmm.
remember. I find it like so funny that you should see his Facebook. He actually shares a lot of his writing process,
Oh,
and
good.
there's a lot of deconstructions of his scenes, like the Siege of Pale. He goes through like why he picked certain words in certain places, like what he was trying to achieve. It's, I
Hmm.
mean, I think all writers should have a look at it. He mentioned that he started writing a non-fiction writing book too, but I'm not sure about
Oh,
the progress.
yeah, that'd be neat because a lot of what this channel was supposed to be is just an outlet, but for
Yeah,
when I'm doing my own kind of writing on the side and stuff. But yeah,
yeah.
I love that stuff. I'd love to see what
he's
he
he's
has.
very open about his process. He never says anything like this just came to me or anything. He doesn't do stuff like that. So it's a lot of
Hmm.
fun.
Hmm.
So do you have anything else you want to bring up?
Well, I don't know. I'm really excited for the rest of the series. I can't believe I'm 3,000 pages into a series almost, and I feel like I'm just in Act One in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. No, really, really looking forward to it. I'm pleased that people have been so nice in commenting on things or whatever. And sometimes I've gone to Reddit a couple times and put a little question out there, and within 20 minutes,
Minutes.
there's
Yeah.
15, there's page
Yeah.
long answers. Like, who's writing all this?
It's
Like,
yeah.
just yeah, really, really nice community. And I've yeah, I'm just looking forward to more of it, and I would love to talk to Steven Erickson. I'd love to come back on here when
Yeah.
I'm done,
Yeah, yeah.
House of
You're
Chains or
always
whenever.
welcome. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
our podcast is more like we've read, or I think as of now we have finished the whole series. So we
Who's
just
the
talk
other one
about.
that you have on?
He's my co-host. He's from Greece, and we basically met on Reddit. So we
Right, and
went
what's
through
what's his name?
Lee.
Lee. Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
couldn't come
I'd
because
be happy
his
to come on with one or both of you. That'd be
yeah,
fun.
yeah. his PC sort of went off, so that's the reason he couldn't join us today.
Right. No, that's fine.
But
No,
he's one of
I'm
the
really,
guys who puts out those page-long answers on Reddit. He's one of
I'm one of
them.
those guys too. But I
Yeah,
mean, yeah. No, I'm glad there's a community of people who ramble way too much than they should,
yeah,
and someone will be there to read it.
yeah.
So,
Read and respond and not spoil things for you.
yeah, I haven't been spoiled with things. At least I haven't felt like I was spoiled with things. I'm sure. Yeah, I have no idea where it's going. But who knows?
Like, do you want to take a guess? Do you want to tell me, like, where do you think, what is going to be the final
Man,
end story or something? It's going to be
I
wrong. So just
I think in the last page of the Crippled God,
yeah,
we get it's a new in the last page. It's a new perspective, and someone opens their eyes, and it's like Dennis Rodman, and he's been having a fever dream, and all of this is just some stupid dream, and none of this was anything.
yeah,
So I have no idea. No, I have no idea.
yeah.
I don't even know how you can wrap this up in a way that, yeah, there's just so many heavy things happening that the stakes are so high, and I can only imagine them getting higher than that, what they were already in Memories of Ice.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. No, in the sense, you don't really get a picture because it takes a really, really long time to show where exactly the story is going. Right now, it's just, it's these guys, and now the bridge burners are gone.
We haven't really
So,
touched the Malazan Empire itself. I mean, they're everywhere, but we haven't even dealt with Lacine really at all.
the
And,
thing is, Erickson, this series is called Book of the Fallen, isn't it? So it
uh-huh,
just follows these guys who are important in this story, but the
right.
Empire stories are written by Esselmont.
Oh, they couldn't
The
fit that into 10,000 page long books?
no, that is not the focus of this series.
Oh,
This series is
okay.
only focused on these guys who have a story which you are not yet, you've not yet been introduced to the story. And I don't think it comes up till like book 7 or
Oh,
something.
good.
But Esselmont, the other co-creator of the world, he's written
Hmm.
these novels of the Malazan Empire, which I read recently. So those 6 books deal with what is happening within the empire, Lacine and the rest. And the
Yeah,
Crimson
I'm
Guard.
interested in that too.
Do you remember the Crimson Guard? You must have met them very briefly in gardens. I don't remember seeing
Yes.
them there.
No, they weren't the Red Swords, were they?
Red Swords come up in Deadhouse Gates since
Right.
the 7 cities.
And the Crimson Guard, who are they again?
They were the ones who were trying to protect Crocus. Kaladin Brood had sent a group.
Right.
They were
Right. Yeah, there
following
were
him,
all
and
sorts of people after a whole bunch of people.
yeah, yeah.
I think I would
It's
read
so
that so much
confusing.
better. I mean, even the Tistandi were a part. Like, there's just so much going on with that.
So there was Crocus. He was being followed by Tystandi people to kill
Uh-huh.
him, and they were
Uh-huh.
being followed by the Crimson Guard to stop them from killing Crocus.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
and there was also the assassin wars going on the rooftops.
Yes.
And yeah, there's no way you can keep track of that when you're reading for the first time.
Yeah, but who's motivating? Who's running the Crimson Guard? Sort of like who are
Okay,
they?
the
I can't
Crimson
remember.
Guard is like a mercenary company, like this Grey Swords, but they have allied themselves with Kaladin Brood and the Tystandi army.
Right.
So they're
Okay.
all the anti-Malazan, group.
Right. And I like the regulars. I thought they were hilarious
The
and
more,
awesome.
yeah, they
Yeah.
they just light up the scene whenever they show up. We need more of
Hmm.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
so
really
those were
looking
the
forward
guys,
to
and
more.
sorry.
No, I said I'm really looking forward to all those guys. If even if we don't see them again, I think they were awesome. Just the little glimpses we had of them
Yeah.
stealing the table. I love the table.
That whole scene was so good.
Hmm.
And you find out that's how you find out that this guy is a master of the deck, and it is such a nice visual.
What a way to do that. And then let everyone know that he is by
Yeah.
having it hovering above everyone. That's when I thought, oh man, this is just ridiculous. Like I really like it, but this is just so ridiculous. All this
Over
stuff
the
going
top.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like that. It's just not boring.
No, no. I mean, it's Krupp, isn't it? Krupp is the one who does the
He
whole
was
table floating thing. That's what I
well,
thought.
he was holding on to it or something.
No,
I don't know.
I,
Did he
I
make that
thought,
happen?
I think so because the scene was getting too tense and people were like about to start shouting or stabbing at each other or something. And then he
Hmm.
diffuses it by having a giant table float on top of them.
Yeah, and
That's the
then
way I
ends
read
this
that scene.
wild scene by asking if anyone's hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
but then
liking him more and more.
no, it's just his behavior with Mike which completely changed me. Till then, I was like so restless with him. I usually
I
don't
agree.
follow the words he uses, the way he makes sentences. It's so hard to follow. But then, yeah.
Yeah, he just goes on sometimes.
Oh,
No, I
I
really
thought
like
you
him.
were telling me about the themes, like Memories of Ice. What did you think?
Yeah, Memories of Ice. I liked that there were a few things going on. I like how it was wrapped up with the crippled god himself, in how when people are brought to their lowest, it can be kind of a big moment for them.
Yeah,
And that's when the crippled god can kind of swing in and do his thing. I mean, we've seen that kind of theme in other books. Um, but I thought that was really great, and it's just been a big moment for a lot of these people to stand for something, or whether it's rage filled with Gruntle.
yeah,
But I mean, it's interesting because a lot of people are vulnerable, and then they just kind of are caught up in that, and they can't get out of that. So I thought that was great. I liked Ikovian and how he would really see through people, and see kind of at the heart of. I mean, he would see Karsa and see that there was this big line of what got this guy to be this way. Um, so yeah, I liked that. There's a lot of forgiveness and compassion that I didn't expect. Certainly after the first book. Yeah, yeah.
So, if you actually think about some of the themes of compassion, you start noticing that even from Gardens, that old lady who protected
Mhm.
Sorry before she died, like
Yeah, I
there
didn't
was
really
no call,
understand
isn't it?
what was
It was
happening
just an
there
act of
when I
compassion that she
first
knew
read
she.
it.
Yeah. What did you think? Yeah.
Well, when I first read it, I just, she seemed like an old witch from the start of Lady Macbeth, or from Macbeth or something, like the
The
creepy
three
witches.
witches. Yeah.
Like I just didn't see. Yeah, I wasn't totally sure. I thought it was an interesting part, but I didn't catch on that maybe she was protecting her, or anything like that. And I'm too far removed to even know. But I'm looking forward to rereading. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way through the 10 before going back to maybe the first one.
Okay.
But I imagine I'll just go all the way through and then go back.
Yeah, you should. You're not going to include the other series, novels of the Malazan Empire?
On the way, on the way
Yeah.
to the 10, I don't know. I don't know. Uh,
There are pros and cons to both, but you don't have to decide till you finish book 5, at least.
yeah,
So you can
yeah.
decide then.
I'll maybe put out a poll or something, or kind of ask around on Reddit and get super long
Yeah.
responses for what people's opinions should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm open to either one. I like to break things up a little bit
Hmm.
because it's a lot to take on, but I've liked it. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I'll go right through it or not.
Yeah. But you've been reading fast, so what's another 6 books?
Yeah, are they long? Are they
The
just as
second one is
long?
super long. The others are manageable. The first one is just a novella size, it's so small. But the last
Hmm.
4 are like standard novels, I think, for 500, 600 pages or so. The second one
Hmm.
is huge. That is huge. That should be a 3-part book. That's what I feel. Return of the Crimson Guard, that one's called.
Hmm. Right.
You have the list of those books also in your book?
Well, I don't know. I have the Carcanis trilogy, the Malazan novellas, The Witness.
So those are all
And then,
Erickson's books, but this is like Esselmont's, isn't it? So maybe it
oh
doesn't.
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to his stuff too.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
looking
right.
forward to getting a couple other buddies into Malazan and seeing what they have to say. I know one of them for sure will be all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've already
But you
talked
can't
to.
really,
Sorry, go ahead.
predict whether they like it because Gardens is so divisive. You really can't know who's going to like it and who's not.
Yeah, I think there's a few things I would tell him going into it of
Yeah.
what to expect, and I think he would be fine. I think he'd
Right.
be fine. He likes all this kind of fantasy stuff and whatever. So I don't know.
It's always good to have somebody to like guide you through the books. But yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it would have been nice for that first book. Because in the second book, I found whatever that PowerPoint that someone's
Oh
made
yeah,
some kind
yeah.
of.
On
So I
Reddit,
did. Yeah, I was going through the second book, and then I would go to the PowerPoint and I thought that's not what I read at all, and that's just making me frustrated because I didn't read that. Like, how
yeah.
did you get out of it? And I just got more and more self-conscious, and I just stopped looking at it.
No, that's very, very in depth. That one. So any foreshadowing which you can pick up, that PowerPoint is going to mention it. So,
Yeah.
but that's okay. It's not even if you're going to never reread it, then it's fine. But otherwise, it's okay to just read the
Hmm.
books.
I
And
did
it's
that a
good.
little bit with this the third book, and I'd go and I thought, okay, I'm on track, so I'm not going to worry about it too much.
Right, right. And always when you stop and think about the chapter, like the way you've been making videos, that itself adds so much to what you understood, isn't it? Just going
Oh
through the
yeah.
chapter one more time,
Oh
it
yeah.
adds so
Oh
much.
yeah. It helped so much.
Have you been reading the epigraphs, the beginning poems and stuff for each chapter?
Yeah, I love them. The
Yeah,
first two books I just kind of breezed through them, but I
yeah,
really find that they mean something now,
they
quite a
do.
bit.
Yeah, yeah.
This last epigraph that I just read, I haven't gotten into chapter 5 of this, but it's there are folds in this shadow hiding entire worlds, which I think I'm going to have some stuff to say about that soon. But that
Right.
kind of lit a light bulb in me because
Yeah.
this chaos versus shadow is the shadow being the thing that kind of is part of holding back the chaos. I thought that's an odd thing because
That's
that's an odd thing, but I have some thoughts on that soon.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just wild how I no I to answer your question, I do like the epigraphs. I do like them a
No,
lot.
there was. Did you guess these guys' identities? Shadow Throne and
No,
Cotillion's identities? No.
no,
No.
not at all.
So
Uh, I thought maybe they could be around,
okay.
but no, I didn't guess that at all. I
I
thought
think
they
if
were going
you.
to die, and then Perrin was going to be the new Shadow Throne. That was my guess
Okay.
when I was in Gardens of the Moon. And he got a
Okay.
way cooler job.
Yeah. I mean, he commands all of them now. So he would
Hmm.
have been just commanding Shadow if he was a Shadow Throne there. But
Yeah,
if you go back and read Gardens, it's like quite explicit. Everywhere
yeah.
it's mentioned that it's these two are the new gods. Tattersail and
Oh,
Kalam have this long conversation, and
hmm,
they just miss mentioning their name. The rest of the conversation is just talking about, oh my god, yes, it's them. And
hmm.
there is an epigraph, isn't it? The emperor is dead, so to his
I
right
can't
hand man.
recall.
Yeah, there is. That's what. If you go back to Gardens, these are the things which will hit you more.
Maybe if I was being more careful, I would have caught that.
I some people do actually. I'm always surprised because yeah, it's it's so obscure in Gardens. You really can't get it, but some people do.
Yeah,
Even the
yeah. I
Karsa
didn't
thing,
get that.
people
Huh?
guess him because of his wooden sword and the face tattoo. Some people do guess that it was Toblakai before the reveal happens.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
See, in Dead House, the Toblakai kind of were part of the things that I wasn't totally grasping every little thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah.
No, it's like
In in the Memories of Ice, I thought, okay, this Panny and Domin, or the Panny and Seer is clearly one of these two kids.
You got that. Yeah.
I thought it was probably the boy.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, where's the girl? She's suffering in endless torment right now. I thought, where's this girl who thought she was going to be meeting her mom on the other side? So yeah, really neat. I don't know if I've caught a lot of the things that I should have. I think some of it, but yeah, I'm not sure.
No, Erickson has mentioned this, like Memories of Ice at least is like all about the different themes of motherhood. Like there are all sorts of mothers, isn't it?
There's some brutal moms.
The matron.
She's awful. Yeah. I mean, no, there's some great ones too. And mothers that, not there's mothers that kind of are there to mother people who aren't even their children. They're just there to kind of provide that when someone doesn't have that themselves. So that's interesting as well. Yeah. No, I caught that a little bit with this one.
Yeah. Right. So shall we wind up?
Sure.
Yeah. So good luck on the rest of your Malazan journey, and I hope you keep enjoying this and keep making your fun videos, because especially the whiteboard one, that was like my favorite. That was so much fun to
and that could have been a whiteboard as big as a wall. Like I was just barely touching anything. I mean I'll keep trying to make those connections because they help me as well.
So they're so entertaining to watch, because how many names can you fit on them? Like each sentence you said, oh my god, I forgot that guy, and then you have to write down them.
Yeah, I sent that to one of my buddies who I know will not read the books. Yeah. And he said, "Is this a joke? Like, are you just Harry? Like, is this a joke?" What? I said, "No, this is just the stuff that's going on." Yeah, like I didn't understand any of that. Like I didn't understand it either. So no, I'm looking forward to it, and definitely I will come back on and talk if you want to do that. That'd be fun.
Please do, and please get Erickson on your show, because he's been leaving comments on your videos.
It's been funny that he has been doing that.
I did not expect to see him say, the Little Women reference. I think he made a joke about that.
The what thing? Oh yeah. Stupid.
It's fun, yeah.
No, he's I vibe with his humor in this, and he writes good romance and stuff too. Like it's surprising. Sometimes these fantasy people are. What's that?
Yeah. Sorry, do you know how much he gets criticized for his romance?
I think it's okay.
It's quite okay. I mean, it's Tattersail and Paran.
It's very subtle. He doesn't go too intense with it, but it's nice. It's something small, and his humor is dead on.
Yeah,
his humor's awesome.
Yeah. You get to see more in the next one, Midnight Tides. It's a hit or miss, but to me, that was like one of his funniest books. So, okay. Let's see how. And since you're reading fast, it's so nice to see like new content now and then.
Yeah.
So, take care.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming, and let's see if we can do this again.
All right. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. Bye.